Hey there people, Ryan White here for hypeonmusic.com.au. Today's video is all about my top 5 guitar practice hacks. So if you implement these ideas, you're going to consistently and continually improve your playing no matter what level you currently find your skill sets at. So let's jump into today's video and learn about these powerful ideas. So to kick things off, guitar hack number 1 is learning and mastering our fundamentals on the guitar. And when it comes to identifying these fundamentals, my thinking has been hugely influenced by the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 principle as it's more commonly known today, where roughly 80% of results are caused by 20% of our efforts. So to put that into context of learning and playing the guitar's two most common roles are firstly a solo melodic instrument and secondly as an accompanying or chordal instrument. So in a nutshell, that boils down to playing melodies, riffs, and chord progressions. So now that we've identified the overwhelming majority of material that we'll be playing on the guitar, the next question is what causes people to not be able to execute this material effectively? So even in advanced players, the overwhelming majority of errors are caused by not following either one or more of these 3 simple points that once we get right and can internalize them, allows us to quickly eliminate and avoid the most common errors that hold guitarists back with their development. Okay, so specifically here people, I'm talking about our left-hand technical concepts. So the first one I want to mention is fingertips. Okay, so it's vital that we get in the habit of, whether it's single notes or whether we're playing chords, that we place our fingers up on their fingertips. The second point I want to talk about as part of our technical concepts is fret position. So one of the biggest errors I see with players of all levels is they get their fret position wrong. So ideally we want to aim our fingertip in behind the fret marker, or worst case scenario, halfway in the fret. The further back we go, the more string is opened up between our finger and the fret. And as you can hear there, you relax the pressure just slightly and you get that buzzy effect there. So fingertips and fret position. The last point, people, is we want to make sure to allow us to get up on our fingertips in good fret position, that our wrist is not in a position where it has an extreme bend in it. So we want a nice neutral wrist position that allows us to get up on our fingertips and get in good fret position. So the good thing about all of these technical concepts of our left hand is if you follow those 3 simple ideas, it's going to work perfectly with chords, single notes, and take you all the way through from the beginner right to the most advanced pieces. Okay, so for guitar hack number 2, it's about having clearly defined goals that you can structure your practice towards. It's not enough to simply want to just get better. We need to get down to the specifics and identify what it is we need to focus our practice time on. Now, the hardest stage for guitarists to identify these clear goals is when they're starting out. So for beginners, I always recommend firstly, learning your fundamentals featured in the first guitar hack in this video. And then secondly, practicing to apply them in the context of developing riffs and chord progressions to the point where you can play them in time with either musicians or a recording. It's also important to have a clear idea of what styles of music you'd like to be able to play when formulating these goals. This makes it a lot easier to structure our practice by working backwards from these points. For example, someone who wants to learn to play metal or rock and roll is going to have a completely different practice routine from someone looking to play jazz or classical guitar. And for more advanced players, these goals usually come in the form of adding more accessory techniques or concepts to their fundamentals. And this depends largely on what genres they're looking to play or improve at. Okay, for practice hack number 3, we're going to talk about having a regular practice routine. This is probably one of the most crucial points on the list because without it, you simply won't be getting in the position to improve and move your guitar playing forward. The main reason why having a regular practice routine is so important is because not only do we get regular sessions to develop our skills throughout the week, but also through practicing often we get regular practice at the overlooked ability to efficiently recall our skills from memory. This idea is featured in the best-selling book How We Learn by Benedict Carey, along with many other great insights on learning and skill development. But to put a number on what constitutes a great regular practice routine, the scientific research and backed up by my own personal experience points to 4 to 6 practice sessions of deliberate practice per week at the higher end of the scale, and 3 sessions as the bare minimum to maintain skills and improve at a slower rate. So aim for those numbers to start supercharging your skill development and moving your guitar playing forward. For practice hack number 4, we're going to talk about deliberate practice along with a process I call the steady and controlled repetition process. I first came across the term of deliberate practice over 15 years ago, which was coined and defined by Swedish psychologist Anders Ericsson and his colleagues as the individualized training activity specifically designed by a coach or teacher to improve specific aspects of an individual's performance through repetition and successive refinement. So in a nutshell, focused practice to improve specific skills as opposed to just mindlessly picking up our guitars and hoping to see improvement out of just spending sheer amounts of time on the instrument. Now this leads us to the steady and controlled repetition process, which allows us to leverage the powerful idea of deliberate practice and when applied correctly, focuses the student on the correct way of doing the skill time and time again. Now, how we go about using the steady and controlled repetition process is by prioritizing and maintaining accuracy and control when practicing a musical passage, scale, or technique. In this process, the speed is set and adjusted at a tempo in which we can repeatedly execute the passage with accuracy and control. This is, in my experience, the fastest way to develop and maintain high quality skills when combined with the concept of deliberate practice. It shaves years off your development simply by working smarter. Okay, practice hack number 5, people, is probably the most dreaded one of them all, and that is working with a metronome. So coming in the form of either digital apps on our phones or old school analog devices like this one right here. No other piece of equipment will have the greatest impact on improving your timing and musicianship as a guitar player than the humbled old metronome. Now what makes metronomes so special is it gives us live and in the moment feedback on where we need to adjust or improve our playing in order to play in time. You only need to hear great players and teachers like Tomo Fujita talk about how the metronome leads to developing impeccable timing and musicianship, making it a must for any guitarist looking to seriously improve their playing and develop high quality skills. So I've gone ahead and put a list of books in the description where you can check out more great information and insights on learning and skill development. So don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to support the channel and to check out my latest online course, people. Follow the links below to the High Point Music Guitar Fundamentals program. A course that's going to shave years off your development and set your playing apart with its unique content that will allow you to master the fundamental skill sets of contemporary guitar. You can even try it out on an obligation-free trial to receive great benefits from the course before you buy. And lastly, to directly support the content I'm putting out here, follow the links below and sign up for a $1 per month membership on Patreon. My name is Ryan Wyatt. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you all in the next video.